Today we're going to talk about sugar. Sugar is the most popular topic right now when it comes to nutrition, and a lot of people are focusing in on cutting back on sugar, which is very important for your health. So I want to start with kind of reviewing natural versus added sugar. Natural sugar is found in whole foods like fruits in particular, and also vegetables, some vegetables, but in much higher concentration in fruits. Sugar, such as fructose in fruits, is attached to fiber, and fiber is very important for a healthy diet. It slows down the absorption of the sugar into the bloodstream. Fruits are also wonderful sources of vitamins and minerals, vitamin C, vitamin A, but added or free sugar, which is put into products, so things like sugary sodas, candy, cakes, cookies, does not have the advantage of the combined fiber and the nutrients. I feel that fruits have really gotten a bad name because sugar is really under attack. And what we want to make clear is that what we're talking about is cutting back on that added sugar, which doesn't have any of the combined health benefits. Some of the names for added sugar, there's things like brown sugar, corn sweetener, syrups, high fructose corn syrups, honey, molasses, raw sugar, sugar, anything ending in OSE like dextrose, fructose, glucose, lactose, maltose, and sucrose. So when you're looking at food labels, there's a lot of different sources of sugar, so you have to kind of be careful. But really a good rule of thumb is to try to limit a lot of those boxed and bagged products that do have those added sugars and instead try to eat more whole foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean meats, dairy products, and other sources of healthy nutrients. Here are some of the label terms that are associated with sugar. So if you see a food label that says sugar-free, like sugar-free sodas or sugar-free Crystal Light, those have to have less than 0.5 grams of sugar per serving. Reduced sugar or less sugar is just 25% less sugars per serving compared to a variety of standard serving size. So for example, you might get a reduced sugar ice cream that just has 25% less added sugar, but still has quite a bit of added sugar. So you always want to be careful when you see those reduced or less label terms. No added sugar really confuses people. So people will buy juice that says no added sugar and not even look at the label, and then later look and realize, oh my gosh, I've been consuming tons of sugar. Now, when I talked about the benefit of fruit, one of the benefits was the nutrients, but the big benefit is the fiber, and juices have no fiber. Even the really pulpy juices do not have any fiber. And that fiber is what fills up your stomach, is good for your intestinal tract, and slows down that sugar being absorbed into the bloodstream. So you really want to stay away from juices. I do not recommend that people drink juices. It can even become a problem for children with cavities and with too much weight gain. So a lot of times juice is a problem for overweight children. One of the big things is that when you're drinking juice, you can consume such large amounts of it without it filling you up at all because there's no fiber. So you could have, let's say, 12 ounces of orange juice, and that would be the same calories and sugar as eating 3 oranges. Most of us aren't going to sit down and eat 3 oranges. 1 orange would satisfy us for a snack, but it'd be very easy to consume a large amount of sugar in juices. Low sugar does not have a definition and shouldn't be on food labels. Sometimes you may go to a bakery or some sort of restaurant that will have low sugar items, or like a pie that says no added sugar. Those certainly are not healthy items. It's just a way of kind of trying to get you to buy the product. So how much is too much? How much added sugar should you have in a day? The recommendation is 10% of your total calories or less. Less is truly better when it comes, and again, the emphasis in bold on added sugar. So for men and women, based on average calorie intakes, for women about 6 teaspoons or less per day, and for men about 9 teaspoons or less per day. Americans consume much more than this. The consumption of regular sodas, candies and sweets is very high. Now, each teaspoon of sugar has 4 grams of sugar in it. So for 6 teaspoons for women, that would be 24 grams per day of sugar, added sugar. And for 9 teaspoons for men, 9 times 4 is 36 grams or less. So the label on the right-hand side of this slide is for a 12-ounce regular soda, whether it's Coke, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, Sprite, any of the sodas. You can see the total carbohydrate is 39 grams, and all of that is from sugar. And you can see that is more than 9 teaspoons of sugar in one 12-ounce can of soda. So that is more than what a man should consume in a day. Many people consume multiple cans or 20-ounce servings of regular soda along with other sources. So you can see that in the U.S., this clearly is an issue for diet and then for added weight. So too much added sugar, we talked about sodas, so 39 grams or over 9 teaspoons in a 12-ounce. A 20-ounce soda is 65 grams or 16.5 teaspoons. Things like ice cream. So Ben & Jerry's ice cream has 21 teaspoons, but you can see that if you have like a scoop, so if you would go to Whitey's, for example, and get a scoop of ice cream or Dairy Queen versus a milkshake or a large portion of ice cream, that really cuts back on the amount. So half a cup is 5.5 teaspoons, 22 grams of sugar. So that could fit into your recommendation amount. If you're a man trying to get in less than 9 teaspoons, that wouldn't blow your entire day's worth of added sugar. A package of Skittles would, though, 46 grams per package. That's 11.5 teaspoons. So here, a smaller portion, things like fun-sized, trying to eat fruits and healthy foods that have natural sugars attached to fiber can also satisfy your need for something sweet so that you're not turning to these very sweet candies and desserts. So you want to avoid regular sugar, lemonade with added sugar, and sweet tea. Limit your intake of sweets, and I'm not saying you have to cut it out. Some people will go completely off things like candy, desserts, and ice cream. I do recommend not buying a lot of these products and having them in your house. It's very hard for people to resist candy. Like if I had a bowl of chocolate on my desk, I would eat most of it by the end of the day, I think. And having that in the house, you're really giving yourself permission to eat it. So try to keep your house a haven for some of these foods and keep them out of there. So make it a haven for healthy options. And then keeping portions small. I mentioned a scoop of ice cream. There's things like fun-sized candy bars, and satisfying your need for something sweet with fresh fruit, foods that naturally have that sweetness. A lot of people notice when they go to eat healthier and they really detox their diet and get rid of the desserts and the sweets and the added sugar, they really taste that sweetness in fruit, and it really satisfies their need for something sweet. So just some tips to help you cut back on sugar. Look at labels, think about what you're buying at the grocery store, and try to make healthy choices when it comes to your sugar intake. Thanks, and have a great day.